Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Vakil. Well, the weakness continues for the benchmark indices, registering the fourth straight day of losses. And at this point in time, we have seen the Nifty close below the 200 daily moving average. Well, we are looking at more weakness, down around 1%. There is only the likes of Yes Bank, along with something like Bharti Infratel and State Bank of India advancing. But if you leave that aside, we don't have too much to go for. So if you look at the losers, we have GAIL, Sun Pharma, Tata Motors, all looking at some amount of weakness coming through. Of course, we also have Maruti Suzuki, among others, which are looking at declines. On the broader markets, well, it's one gainer for two losers, not very different from what we saw yesterday. Further declines coming through. And even though India Cement eventually ended the day with gains of around 20% locked in upper circuit, and BASF, Star Cement, Garwari Technicals did advance, the momentum was clearly towards those which were losing out in trade. As you can see, we do have weakness in Adani Transmission, Lemon Tree, along with something like an Intellect Design, Arena Engineers India, as well as Bliss GVS Pharma. So it's not turned out to be the best of sessions for now. And of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on how things are panning out as far as the markets are concerned. But on that note, let's shift focus to a handful of stocks which were in focus. And I'm going to start off with Cipla, which was, of course, in news. And I'm going to get Darshan Mehta to talk to us about what the updates are here. Darshan.
Yeah, so basically, whenever you get a warning letter, it's considered negative. But in Cipla's case, what had happened was that it already had an OAI, which is an official action initiated, similar to a warning letter. So by even if you get a warning letter on OAI, your existing business does not get suffered. It's only the new approvals that will come in. Now, why did Cipla? Cipla actually started down almost 6-7% and actually managed to come almost into the green. Now, one of the key reasons is that financially there is no impact because the market had predicted already an OAI, so financially there's no impact. Whatever business goes on, goes on. A lot of they don't have any pending approvals from that side. Most of the important products are from the other side. So that also is another key issue that business won't be affected. Now, the market had already indicated there will be adverse impact post the 13 observations in the 483. They already got an OAI, and US is not a large part of the business. Now it's 20-30% of this plant is 20 to 30% of their total US business. But on the overall scale of business, US is not that big. So on an overall scale of business, it's just 3% of the revenues. So that the market was not too worried about what happened with Cipla, and they believe there will be no financial impact.
All right, Darshan, thanks for getting us those updates on Cipla. Of course, we'll be watching out for more there. But the other counter that we want to talk about is on an otherwise negative day. There is one stock which did close with a gain of around 20%. That's India Cement. Why did it gain? Well, that's because a veteran investor, and in this case Gopal Kishan Damani, who is of course the brother of Radha Kishan Damani, who is also a very large veteran investor, picked up a further 2.8% stake in India Cement. This of course means quite a bit, considering the family is known to have placed bets in reasonably fundamentally strong companies, and that's the reason why we have seen that strength come through. And well, of course, until December quarter, the family owned around 4.7% stake, and this total holding has now moved up to around 7.5% in India Cement, and that's the reason why we are looking at that sharp up move as far as the cement company is concerned. But for now, we are looking at tremendous weakness overall in the markets. There is, of course, selling pressure coming in, and on relatively higher volumes. Foreign institutions continue to sell. Whether or not we see a reversal of trend is something that we are going to keep an eye on eventually as we move into the next few days. But for now, the undercurrent is firmly towards those which are selling into Indian equities. Well, we'll be watching out for that. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.